Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. By the time you start policing what people say on social media, that's a very, very low form of authoritarianism, the kind that you can only find in these countries of ours. Because it's one thing if you're policing official media, but now social media is a totally different thing. And there's a lot of interest in the powers that be in Uganda in what is said on social media, especially by people who have influence and so on, because they know that they influence a great number of people. But there's a better way of doing it. For instance, they can start their own Twitter handles and give information that is counters. Okay? That is the better way of doing it. You understand? Yes, so what you give an alternative thing. So you don't arrest somebody because he has spoken something that is lies on social media. Tell the truth. Okay? And if your truth stands out more than his lie, then he's drowned out. But you see, it's when people are so scared and they have been in power for too long and they are choking in the privilege of it, that they start policing social media. It's not supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be. What is going to happen on social media? And actually, that's what somebody asked me. You say you are inciting people. I say, who has ever incited people on social media? The thing is, how much of that incitement can amount to something real? If I told the people on social media now, come, let's gather in some place and do a demonstration, would they come? No, they wouldn't. This is just social media. Somebody is sitting at home enjoying it. So, but you see, when people are running scared, every media is a threat. They have control, of course, over the official media through, as I told you, fear, and especially they just instill enough fear for the journalists to censor themselves and be careful about what you write. And now, actually, usually, that works more than telling them not to write. So you just push, then the journalists actually, trim themselves and pull back even further than you would have wanted them. So, so it's working for them. Now the question is, how do they handle social media? First of all, the official media, they can close it down. They even have a law that if you, whatever, they can close it down. They can take your machines and pour in salt like they did with red pepper. There are so many things, but they have no control over social media. That is run from a different country. So what do you do about that? Now, the one thing dictators hate is a scenario where they have no control, because they thrive on control. Even when there is a certain level of benevolence or an apparent freedom, it is exercised in as far as they know they still have a way of reining in on you in case you seem to be going too wayward. So they have to have a control over you. You understand? It's like letting a child run out of the house, but there is a fence around. So regardless of whatever he does is within this fence. He cannot go. But that's different if there is no fence and you think he can run into the road. So that's how they. But now social media is kind of disarms them because there is no control there. So the only way they can control is controlling the people who have an influence. Okay? And there was a talk of UCC having to, whatever. Now that is really sad. That is really sad. UCC now has to what? Very soon they will say, if you have this number of followers, then you have to pay tax.